Well, it's 2 weeks after my first bodybuilding season and all the updates as far as Total Sports Nutrition. I hope you enjoy. Adam here from Total Sports Nutrition, and this is episode 1 of Total Sports Nutrition TV. Reason being I put this together is one, for you guys out there following us and Total Sports Nutrition. It is great for you to know what is happening behind the scenes and who is behind the scenes in relation to Total Sports Nutrition as a whole. The other reason that I decided, especially the videoing side of things, is it's 2 weeks after my first bodybuilding season and jumping up on stage, and something like this is a great accountability tool for me, and it also just shares a bit of an insight as far as what has happened over this, even 3-year journey, but especially the last 6 months, because I do feel on social media that you tend to see a lot of the highlight reels. So the videos get a lot more in depth, and you guys can get a bit more of an understanding and a feel as far as what has gone on in particular. Before I go into it, there's so much to talk about as far as what has happened, especially over the last 6 months, but I'm going to keep it relatively straightforward. And in the description panel and also in the blog, there's going to be a lot more links to the content that I am actually talking about today. But first things first, I wanted to have a special thanks to, there's a lot of people that were involved in getting me to my best condition stage-wise, and also the support networks as well. So special thanks out there to my competition prep coach Leon Stensholm from Body by Leon. So can't thank you enough to bring me to stage in that condition, and all the support along the way in relation to programming, food, and obviously dialing it into the show. So big and special thank you there. We've got Mike Debenham. Now Mike was my posing coach, absolutely fantastic as far as teaching me the art of posing, and a wealth of knowledge and experience. And same with Peter Hardwick. Thank you very much for touching base that initial time and being an ongoing inspiration for me. All my friends and family, thank you so much for all those little messages. Every little one of them counted, and I truly appreciate it. And last but not least, my mum and dad come back from overseas to watch my competition, so I'm truly thankful to have had them there for that special moment. The bodybuilding side of things, it was probably 10 years umming and ahhing about it, because I wasn't overly interested in it, but I was. And yeah, I reckon I'd been saying for about 10 years that I'd wanted to potentially compete, but I just knew that when I felt that I was ready to go, I can't even explain it. But what I'd done, first of all, my partner at the time was competing, and I went through a little 11-week sort of mini cut a couple of years ago, and sort of just got the taste of it then to see how far I could take my body, and it was great. Being lean and photo shoot lean is one thing. Being stage lean is a whole different ball game. But in particular, this was probably a 3-year game plan. In particular, to try and put on as much size on my frame through particular training methods, and especially being exposed to more volume, which was something that was severely lacking over the years with my particular training. I wasn't, the volume component just wasn't there. So it was a good couple of years of really trying to excel and put some quality muscle on my frame. and fine-tune things, bring up some weaker points, so that when it come time to diet, I was ready to go. But I really kept to my game plan in the off season and brought my calories up quite substantially. I think I ended up at around 625 grams of carbs. And again, guys, this is for me, but I did take a long time to bring that food up quite substantially, and I was probably sitting at around that 92 to 94 kilo mark consistently, on 3 to 4 times more food than when I was actually about 9 kilos heavier and holding a lot more body fat. Again, that's probably another video altogether in regards to reverse dieting, the diet after the diet. But yeah, I did a lot of planning behind the scenes to make sure that my body was primed and ready to go for when I did start actually dieting. Yeah, so training through the improvement season or off season, it was tough, but it was also good knowing that there was that goal in sight. There was that particular date in the back of my head that it's sort of training with a purpose. It's a whole lot different. It's a different mindset, especially when it was actual game on, when the actual prep dieting started. It just put a whole new outlook or level of mentality for me going through that transitional period. So training, food, everything as a whole, it's more consistency. Really dialing things in the off season and making sure that yeah, my food was nice and high, I was strong, and I could sustain and maintain what I was actually doing at that particular period of time. So the other thing as well, like I said just before, is being lean, and let's say summer beach body lean or photo shoot lean. It's relatively easy. You can knuckle down and get the job done, and you know, everyone can achieve that particular level of lean. It's quite easy in comparison. And then stage lean, again, it's unexplainable, and only those people who have gone to that particular length as far as conditioning is concerned can understand what is actually involved behind the scenes to get there. So what I've taken from the whole experience, one is, I think it was March the 26th, I started my dieting process, and my body responded very quickly. So I suppose the best thing that I can take out of this whole experience is, one, I know how my body responds to dieting. I think I was ready relatively early, as in primed reasonably. Again, you know, the best thing out is being ready early. But the problem is it takes a lot of toll physically and mentally when you are that lean, and you've got to maintain that level of leanness. So I take many fantastic things from the whole experience, but I also know what I will and won't do differently next time as well. I think it puts a lot of perspective as far as life as a whole, appreciation of all the little things, and mental toughness. There is so many great things that I can take from the whole experience and be able to package these and pass it on to my coaching clients as well. And I'd say the whole process was definitely a great learning experience, but where I tended to struggle was when I got to a level of being lean, and it just really takes its toll mentally. The feelings of flatness, basically it's just hard to do anything. It's hard to think, it's hard to work, but you've still got to battle on. There's no excuses, and it's my choice. It's my choice to do it. But I also remember the days where it was just hard to put one foot in front of the other. You could barely walk, and you know that you needed to go in and do legs. So there was some unbelievable battles there along the way, and how you feel as versus how you perform are worlds apart. I prove that time and time again. But yeah, in particular for me, once I hit that sort of level of lean where my body didn't particularly like it, it was the easiest way I can explain it is I'm quite a bubbly person with I can be very extroverted at times, but this really just drew me in and sort of kept to myself a lot. I had to put on a brave face for when I was training people or in meetings or whatever it may have been. So yeah, it was certainly an experience, but that's what I found in particular was at that time when I got to that level of body fat, it really started affecting me physically and mentally. But you battle on and you put one foot in front of the other, which I did as best I could. Coming in, I did 2 shows. I did the Coffs Classic down at Coffs Harbour, New South Wales, and the TSN Tropics. Coming to my first show, yeah, I was ready early. I didn't plan to do that show. It was always the TSN Tropics that was my main show that I'd planned for, but being ready early was great, and wow, what an experience, what an incredible experience. And I think after that show, looking back, I probably should have called it a day in relation to my brain and my body, but the hardest thing hands down was being physically and mentally on song in some way between the 2 shows. It was very, 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 very difficult, and it drained me further. Yeah, and I went up. Hey, I big tick off the bucket list as far as being able to reach TSN Tropics in Townsville, and the guys there always put a fantastic show on it, as well as they did at Coffs. So I'm very humbled and fortunate to have been in a position to take my body to both of those shows and compete, and I'm truly appreciative of it. And not only that is that I'm so happy with the way that I competed. There was so much that I can do to improve both on a physical and mental level, but what I'm trying to say is that I did everything that I could to bring the best possible physique in that I could at that particular time, and that was sort of, it gave me a little bit of peace of mind. That always things you can do to improve, but I know I brought my best package. And the thing now is that even thinking about dieting again is out of the question at this point in time. A lot of people are asking me if I plan to compete again. Like, definitely, but under different circumstances, when you know sort of what you're in for, etc. And not only that is just giving my body time to grow and build and repair. But yeah, definitely down the track, absolutely. But I think I'm done with dieting for a while, especially that 6 months of dieting there. And you're talking to the ultimate foodie right here. So. But all in all, like, I couldn't be happier. I'm so happy with what I took away from the whole experience. And not only that is that I got up there and did the absolute best I could. And yeah, special thanks once again to all those behind the scenes that made it all possible. I'm truly thankful for that. So yeah, my aim this year was to compete. I ticked that off the box there. Why? Is because of the experience and the things that I can take away and learn and apply to business, life, my clients and everything as well. So it was something that was missing, that I believed that I needed to go through myself and experience myself. And I have, and it's a big tick off the bucket list. It was a very tough one, probably the toughest physically and mentally that I've dealt with, hands down. So yeah, that's the whole bodybuilding side of things. Again, there's certain areas there that I will like to expand on, and I will through particular videos, but I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a touch on my whole experience there. And no doubt I'll pop some pics up, and also in the written blog I'll pop some transformation pics and some stage pics in there as well. So what now? Everyone, this is the funny bit, is everyone's you can go back to normality, and you can eat what you want and whatever it may be. This is a time, again, another video, another time, but this is a time where in particular I've got to be very careful as far as massive blowouts, because I can be extremist that way. When you diet, your body dieting is a form of controlled starvation, and through that period when you're dieting is your body can prime itself to basically supercompensate and also store additional fat, or more fat than when you first started. So without going into it further, it's a very important time that I spend the time to build my metabolism and bring my calories up over a period of time, because I was very fortunate still to be on relatively high calories coming into comp, which was great. So short term, my initial goals were getting my sleep and my health and hormonally, metabolically, everything like that in check. And for me, I'm a stats man, and what I did is I actually picked up a Fitbit about 6 weeks before my first competition, because I wanted to get all the stats as far as what happened to me sleep-wise, movement. And it's funny how everything's slow, blinking slow, talking slow, moving slow, coming in dieting and also coming out of it. So I track everything. I track all my water, I track all my calories, I track all my exercise, everything. That for me, accountability wise, helps, and with food prep and everything like that. So short term, as a health perspective, that's where I'm aiming for, and also just implementing some specific goals as far as starting to get my strength up and lift heavy things. That's the aim there, and I'm really looking forward to that, and getting my programming in place in order for that to happen. The last 2 weeks, I'd say it's more of an active recovery. I was sort of going through the motions. I backed off the load, probably allowing my tendons and ligaments and everything to have a bit of a rest, my central nervous system to recover, and I feel so much better for it. And probably the last 2 days in particular, I actually started feeling somewhat normal. So normal, still flat, tired and depleted, but just there's a glimpse there of what I used to feel like prior to dieting, which is great. So it's sort of given me a little bit extra motivation. So accountability wise, that works for me, is tracking everything, even after a weekend little splurge, which is for me, I'm strategic. I bank certain things food wise, not calorie banking, I call it, so that I'm a bit strategic. If I want to have a few beers or a homemade pizza, I will account for those calories in other ways, which I've got some great videos coming up in relation to that. And I just like to know how my body responds based on certain things. So that has really helped accountability wise. And not only that, bulk food prep, because if it's not there and it's not in front of me, I tend to just, I'll settle for convenience as well, I won't lie. So if I prep a week in advance with my food, it's already there, it's done. I've got a whole freezer full of meals, which is fantastic. And just keeping track of everything at the moment, all my calories, all my food, and it's really helping. So I'm just on the mend. I'm putting one foot in front of the other. I'm just making sure that my health is a number one priority at the moment. And the other thing too, you guys, a few of you have been asking, I'm only a couple of kilos above stage weight, which is fantastic. And I just feel like things are just starting to balance out that little bit further. So training wise for me, the last 2 weeks, as I said, has been active recovery, but what's happening now is that I'm basically putting together a 5-day split, and it's going to be periodized progressively, so that volume is increased over that period of time through particular cycles, and also allowing sufficient time for my tendons and ligaments and nervous system, etc., to recover. So the whole aim for training at this particular point in time is fatigue management, but not only that, is progression. So, and with that as a result, and good food and consistency, is quality lean growth, and obviously trying to minimize any fat gain at that particular stage in time. So for me, it's just fine tuning those weaker areas, which it's great. I know what I brought to stage as far as the best that I possibly could. So the aim now is to bring up those weaker body parts and fine tune and work on symmetry and balance, which I will. And yeah, all things moving forward. Again, this is so important for me to be able to go through these methods and through this path, because of the client, my clients watching everything that I do. And not only that, is that if I'm going to be giving advice, my clients need to know that I take my own advice as well, which gives me a lot of peace of mind. Food wise, I wanted to give a bit of an update on that. So food wise, I'm on approximately 420 grams of carbs, 270 protein, and around 85 to 90 fats at this point in time. So it's creeping up around that 3,700, 3,800 calorie mark, which is really, really good considering I'm 2 weeks post-comp. I think the lowest I ever got coming in the dieting period for me was about 2,800 calories, which was really, really good considering, but it was very, very low as compared to what I started in the improvement or off season. So that's the food side's great. I'm really learning different recipes, and I will touch on food, is that I managed to eat protein pancakes every single day, which a lot of you saw they're shredded by pancakes, or shredded on pancakes hashtag, which did I get shredded from the pancakes? It would be great to say that there's some sort of amazing thermogenic pancake, but it was mainly the moral behind the hashtag, as in that I mean is, if you understand nutritional value of food and you have structured flexibility, you can eat certain things on a daily basis and still achieve the goals that you're after. And I think, honestly, for adherence purposes, if I wasn't able to eat my protein pancake every morning, it would have made things a lot tougher through the whole journey. But that was my sense of feeling that I was having something naughty, but it wasn't, but it just tasted so bloody good, and I look forward to it every day. So yes, for 6 months straight, and I continue to do so, is eat pancakes for breakfast every morning. But I will warn you, I'm thinking about changing to waffles, so stay tuned. Subs wise, again, I'll have the full write-up as well, but I'm back to basics at the moment, where I'm actually using just general protein, aminos, pre-workout, Zinadrol for my sleep, immune boosting properties, and a couple of things as far as liver's concerned. So I'll put my sup stack in the write-up as well. So again, update as far as Total Sports Nutrition is concerned. You guys might or might not have seen the new logo that was designed, and not only that, is the fresh new look website. Why? Is over the years it has been all too common, especially with so much information and mass marketing coattails out there, and people thinking that there is some sort of magic pill, is the severe lack of education and understanding in relation to basic nutrition and exercise as well. So if someone is utilizing our products and the products that we have advised, they need to have that education and understanding with nutrition and with training to complement what we already offer. So about 6 months ago, we had quite a large restructure as far as the way that we were going to develop moving forward as a brand. Now, it just so happened to be that TSN still being Total Sports Nutrition, T for training, S for supplementation, N for nutrition, the three vital components put together, you can certainly create a better outcome. So all in all, and being pretty straightforward with what we're going to be offering within the TSN brand, is that we can offer all those services for people that truly need guidance and direction that way, and ideal from people who've never experienced food or dieting or training before, right through to the experienced athlete or trainer themselves. So it's very diverse as far as the scenarios of people that come to us wanting supplementation or further education. And it's just so good on that platform to be able to offer that. So when you do go to the main website, you'll see there's 3 buttons there. Training, there's options obviously for one-on-one if you are within the Southeast Queensland region, of course, because otherwise it's going to be very, very difficult trying to get one-on-one attention when you live so far away. But the biggest one is the online mentoring and coaching. I always loved where technology was going, and technology's allowed us to reach out to people all across Australia and overseas to be able to give them guidance and direction in relation to proper training strategies and structure, and not only that is understanding nutrition. And all in all, if you get those 2 components right, well, it's definitely going to do the supplements justice, because the supplements are designed to fill in the gaps or supplement what these people that are coming to us are not getting with their food as such, or extra recovery around training time, or aiding in sleep, or a bit of extra energy before training, or things to help hit their protein requirements. So all in all, I think this direction, being able to offer these additional services, gives me a lot more peace of mind knowing that our customers can get educated over and above. And not only that, is that we're going to start really putting some more educational content online so that you guys can freely go on there and access that education. And not only that, is if you want to take things further and have that little bit more accountability, well, then you've got access to the mentoring options as well. So Total Sports Nutrition as a whole, certainly the sports and dietary supplementation side of things is in full accelerator mode. We're definitely going great guns as far as being able to deliver quality product right around Australia to people, whether it be personal trainers, whether it be clubs, whether it be just the general population, and also athletes as well, which is a great passion of mine. So we're still doing that, but also you've got access to more education, which is going to complement the products that you're already using as well. So that's Total Sports Nutrition rebranded as a whole and where we're going with things. So really looking forward to laying that out further and further developing that side of things for you guys as well. So if you do wish to reach out, all the details and links are below. So again, I won't go into that further, otherwise this video would be going on for a long time, but at least it gives you an idea as far as where we're aligning ourselves and what we plan to achieve moving forward, because in the end of the day, it's a results driven industry, and if someone purchases products from us and doesn't have that knowledge and education, the first thing they're going to do is point the finger at the products, saying that they do not work, which unfortunately there is a lot more to it than just taking particular products that you think is going to be that wonderful magic pill, which I'm still looking for. So if you find it, let me know. The other thing too is clothing. We are very close to having all our new apparel out there. Over the years, there's so many people that have been asking us, are we going to be putting out a particular apparel line? So I've been very fortunate enough to have some great connections and align ourselves with those particular people, because we have similar values, and all that moving forward. You should see our apparel line roll out in the very near future, which I'm really looking forward to. I'm wearing some of the khaki tank tees, which they've got guys, they're not unisex, there's guys and girls fits, which is fantastic. Some of you may have seen those through some of the photos that are coming up. Focus and direction for me moving forward is personal and business development. I'm so thirsty for knowledge and education, and for me behind the scenes to provide and deliver a better service and content and information and education out there for you guys. I am really going down that road further, and there is so many great things happening behind the scenes, and especially over the next few months there's going to be some great transitional things happening over time, which I'm really looking forward to sharing with you as well. With that being said, guys, I hope that really sort of gave you a little bit of an insight as far as what's going on. There is so much to share, and I really look forward to doing that through more episodes, which I'll be doing a video every week for you guys, just to give you a bit of an insight as far as what is happening behind the scenes. And not only that is, if you guys do have any questions, or you wish to reach out and ask about any of the additional services or anything whatsoever in relation to training, food, supplementation, feel free to reach out. There's all the details and links below, and also in the write-up as well. So we're here to help. Again, that was the main reason why I got introduced or stayed in the health and fitness industry, was to be able to give back to others what I got out of it. And unfortunately, as you may or may not agree, this day and age, with so much access to education, people are more confused than ever. So we're going to try and shed some light with that, and create some great paths and directions for all different people from all different levels of fitness as well. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and please do reach out to us to me if you've got any questions whatsoever. And keep on keeping on as the Big Jimmy Moore, my first ever mentor. Again, my brother, he is not here with us today, and I hope I did him proud on the bodybuilding stage. So big shout out to Big Jimmy Moore. The legacy lives on.